Well, our next guest is very special, a writer, advocate, and Toronto-based educator, and the author of the book, Black Boys Like Me, where he tells his story about navigating the education system as a young Black man in the 90s. And now, as an educator, using his story to educate on anti-racism in the public school system, he aims to inspire young Black boys just like him. We'd like to welcome back to the show, Matthew Morris. Matthew, thank you so much for joining us again. Welcome back. We had you on our show about the same time last year.
Around the same time,
when this book was first published in January. Yeah. I'm just curious about what the feedback and response has been to your book.
I've been so grateful to receive so many different positive, affirmative support from so many different people. And to be honest, who I've heard from the most is white mothers.
Wow.
To be honest. And I think it's a testament to the art that I put in that book in terms of how race and Blackness kind of transcends all types of identity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and your mother is a white woman, a Polish woman. Your father is Black. And maybe you could talk a bit about your relationship with your mother and your brother, because your brother and you took different paths.
Absolutely. Shout out to my brother, Tiny. You know, it's a testament to that idea of, nature versus nurture, right? Like, I grew up in a two-parent household, white mother, Black father, and me and my mother always had this kind of strong relationship when it came to the pen, right? My mother was a proofreader. I was always into writing English class because 1 + 1 didn't have to equal 2.
Right.
You know, you could write what you want as long as you were able to prove it. And, for my mother, she saw me as Matthew, but she also understood that the world saw me as a Black boy, and eventually a Black man. So for me, it was important to kind of try to write about and instill that message in the book, Black Boys Like Me.
Yeah, you talk about, being in the school system shaped by exclusionary definitions of success, meaning you have to performing Blackness, and talking about Black masculinity. You throw in hip hop culture and sports, and you yourself went to school for football.
I did.
And you get kind of this, am I living into the social stereotype? So as an educator today, what do you want young Black boys to know?
Well, in the book, right, there's a chapter called the Fresh Prince Syndrome, right?
Yep.
And you remember the Fresh Prince, there was Will Smith, who
Carlton.
was like, and then Carlton. And that's kind of how Black boys are boxed in, right? They either have to shed parts of their Blackness for the sake of academic attainment, or they, double down on their Blackness and they act nonchalant in school and this and that to maintain their quote unquote authentic Blackness. For me, I think the goal is to shatter those boxes and allow Blackness, Black boys, Black masculinity to exist on a continuum, right? The subtleties of Black life, where it doesn't, just because I look a certain way, doesn't mean I ascribe to everything and you could stereotype me and box me in a particular way.
I love that. When you look at the education system today, we've got an Ontario election coming up February 27th. Education falls in, the territory of the province. What are you hoping that you're going to see in policy and changes that our government makes to help kind of shatter these, systemic racisms in the education system, or things that are hindering education?
A lot. We could talk about that for days. Two things that I think are really important. I think that we need to continue to prioritize inclusion and belonging and what that looks like, particularly on an anti-Black racism lens. We need to be diligent about the pathways and the pipelines positively in the ways in which we support and maybe foster more Black males, particularly getting into roles as teachers, as education. For me, I went through my entire schooling career and had one Black teacher. And when I look around in my role right now, teaching new teachers, I don't see a lot of Black males. Where are all the Black males getting into a career in education? This is an important thing that we need to focus on.
Absolutely. And I just want to mention that tonight you're going to be receiving the King Charles Coronation Medal for your work in community service. Quickly, you didn't know this was coming, so big congratulations. How do you feel about that?
I'm grateful. I'm committed to trying to make an impact in Scarborough. Shout out to Scarborough, my community. And I also want to, I want to dedicate this to my brother Tiny, but also my other brother Jay Williams, who tragically passed away around this time last year, who did so much work in his role as a teacher and an educator and an anti-racism advocate. So it's a testament to the continued support that we're trying to pour back into the community.
Oh, absolutely. I'm so sorry for your loss. I didn't know about your other brother. Matthew Morris, thanks so much for joining us. Go read his book, Black Boys Like Me. You're a beautiful writer. Thanks again, Matthew, and congrats.
Absolutely.
Take care. Thank
Thanks.
you.